Welcome, you guys. Welcome back in to Open Mat Chronicles. 1865 Rod here, back at you guys. And as always, we got my man Schaefer in the house.
What's happening? What's happening, everybody?
What's up, Schaefer?
Chilling, man, chilling. Just hanging out, having a good time. A couple drinks with some friends.
There you go. And speaking of which, we got a couple of special guests in the house. We got my man, a previous guest, back at you guys. Halen, a.k.a. Loverboy. Shout out to him.
What else do I got? I got a couple more nicknames.
You got a couple more, but they're going to come out
They're gonna come out
as needed.
Well, as you guys know, Loverboy Halen, train right now, Precision Citrus Heights under Chad Bingham. Used to train with these guys at Infinite. I'm just here. Man, almost 5 years coming up. Purple belt. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Time flies. Time flies.
It's quick.
Yeah.
Awesome. And we got Stefan, big man Stefan in the house. What's up, Stefan?
Nothing much. Just glad to be here. And I've been training for about, let's say, 8 years.
Yeah.
I lost count, but I'm a purple belt.
Yeah.
So I'm training under Precision as well, under Chad Bingham with Halen. And I also used to train at Infinite. And honestly, Infinite was the school that gave me my purple belt.
Hell yeah, yeah. You needed it.
Yeah. You know, it's actually what's funny about that. No, remember when Gus he gave out little patches, and he's like, this is going to be the ballerina patch.
Oh,
'Cause you
yeah.
had to be like smooth, right?
Hell
Like,
yeah.
out of all of our students, who got the freaking ballerina?
Yeah.
My man Stefan gets it.
Did John get it too?
No,
John the
Did
Pimp?
John get it?
He might have got
Oh, he
it.
might have got it.
There's
I
a
swear
couple
when-
people, you know who didn't get it? Freaking Esther. That's why they called her Baby Tank.
Yeah.
She is a tank.
She's still a
little
tank.
Yeah, she's not a ballerina. by
Hell
any
nah.
means.
She's a tank. She takes I see her rolling when she she goes
She's
against
fresh.
a bigger person and she gets beat down. She's like, all right.
Hell
yeah.
Like, she is a trooper.
She's about that
Yeah.
life.
She's about that life.
Me, I don't know. I've never been a ballerina. I mean, I can move. We always talk about deceptively athletic. I can move when I have to or when I feel like it. But I'd much rather just kind of slowly crush right through you.
Yeah.
Coast. Yeah, slow.
It's weird how there's different styles. You got that Danny Sanchez style where he's like a
Yeah.
snake anaconda, just like slowly, little
Yeah.
move up.
Yep.
You don't think
That's
about
the
it. Next thing you
best.
know, oh my God, I'm choked.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love
I
that
hate
style.
those.
No, I love that style. That's
That's
mine.
pretty
Just
dope.
slowly walk up. The style I can't ever deal with, and I'm having such a trouble, is when people pass from a far away distance.
Oh, yeah.
So when they're side
Oh,
passing,
yeah,
you're going
yeah,
around.
yeah.
I have a lot of trouble with that. If someone tries to close the gap, I'm there.
Yeah, same here,
I'll
yeah.
shoot
Is that
a
what-
Standing guard pass, turn
Oh,
around,
that's
goes,
bad
all
for me.
that.
Is that you're talking gi or no gi though?
Both for
Okay.
me, to be honest.
Yeah, with the gi, it's definitely a
I
little
can
tougher.
at least with the gi, I can at least bring
Yes.
them down a little closer. But if they're doing that distance, keeping far from me,
Yeah.
It's a little tough.
it's
yeah,
tough.
yeah.
That's the only. Yeah, that's tough.
When I
for me.
first got here, I was about 13 years in already, and I showed up to Infinite, and everybody did standing guard passes, and I was just like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, I had everybody like kind of like blowing by my guard and shit. I'd recover and I'd handle my biz, but that shit was embarrassing, man. I was like, whoa, like everybody is
remember
really
that.
just ripping past my
I do
guard.
remember that.
So then I figured it out, but I was like, okay, these motherfuckers here. it was a very different environment from what I was doing on the East Coast. So
Yeah.
more power to you guys.
I can agree with that because when I came from Alabama, that was the same thing. We mostly passed guard from our knees, and/or we started standing up equally, and we took one person down, would pass from there. But came here, I was like,
It's a lot of standing passes. Yeah.
what's going on over here?
How
Shit,
else
yeah.
are we supposed to pass your guard, Stefan?
Exactly.
Besides distance passing.
Hey man, get better.
But here, check this out. But here's the funny thing: if you look, I know it's hard. Jiu-jitsu's hard. Man.
Come on.
But look, if you look at all the high-level guys, watch the Gordon Ryans, and I'm not going to say it because you always, you say this name too much. So the guy that will not be named, he's a
Funny.
small competitor, high-level.
Craig
Eminem.
Jones.
Right?
Eminem.
Nah, he's good.
But anyway, they're all standing passes because you kind of have to. You can't go in their knee, like passing their knees against Gordon Ryan, bro. It ain't gonna work.
Absolutely. And
And that's where the athleticism comes in.
it does, right? And it also, what we were talking about before about how it's jiu-jitsu versus jiu-jitsu, and it changes the style. It changes what's required. Because, starting from your knees, that is a bane on jiu-jitsu's existence, okay?
Correct.
But it's done because we're trying to avoid injuries. We want to be able to roll as much as possible. Because keep in mind, the primary objective is to fight the guy on the ground, right?
Right.
So that's why we just start from the ground, because that's where we're going to do most of our work. And if you are always jumping to your feet while another guy's sitting on his ass, it's kind of a cop out. It's kind of it's like get the fuck out of here. If that's the case, then let's just start standing and then let's see what the fuck happens, right? But we're not doing that because
But
we
they
don't
all
want to
do
get hurt.
now they all start standing.
Yeah, which is not good
They,
for me.
there's no, yeah.
And there you go. And then that's when wrestlers fucking shine, right? Now you're getting double leg. Now you're getting dumped on your neck. And then you're getting hurt. And now you can't fucking train. And that's why it starts on the ground, on your knees, because that's where we're trying to get to anyway. So, yeah. Maybe it's the East Coast thing, like I said. We did not do a whole shit ton of standing passes because we were concentrating on ground fighting.
With the evolution of the sport itself, it's ADCC right there.
Yeah.
Most of it is wrestling. Like you don't score points to the first half of the match.
Exactly.
And then it's all wrestling. So it's like, at what point? Okay, now I really do have to learn to stand up because we can't just sit. You know, I don't know when. I haven't found out. I don't know stand up. I just know how to defend against stand up. But there is a point where you should know, wrestler or not.
I think the
Yeah,
the next generation, it's all wrestling with jiu-jitsu mixed in. Like it's going to be like at least 70% wrestling, I think.
Submission wrestling almost.
Yeah.
Especially
It's not even
no-gi.
jiu-jitsu anymore, just
Yeah.
submission grappling
Yep.
or whatever you call
Hell
it.
yeah.
I'd get behind that.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
always
of course
been behind
you
it.
would.
And here's the funny thing: now you watch those high-level matches, and you'll see them just like locked up for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
There's no jiu-jitsu. Like really, I thought it was a jiu-jitsu match.
Yesterday, I obviously
Really?
I was at the tournament, and the higher level, like black belts, brown belts, when they're doing no-gi and it's wrestle,
They're locked
collar
up.
tie for a good
Collar
two
tie, yeah.
minutes.
That's
2
it,
and a
half the
minutes,
fucking
shoot down
match.
it.
It's boring.
Yeah, and I'm like, shoot on them or
Yeah.
do something,
No.
sit, you know?
Because basically, you have two probably really, really good jiu-jitsu guys.
Yeah.
But they're kind of like very like.
They're both
okay.
top heavy.
They're like moderate at takedowns in wrestling. You know what I mean? So if you had a guy in there like a Matt Branson, it was like that's why he would win sometimes against even black belts.
Yeah.
Super good wrestler, and he would win on position. He would just get him.
Oh,
he would take
yeah.
him down.
Oh yeah, like the only reason why I won my tournaments as a white belt against black and brown belts was strictly because of pressure.
There you go.
Nothing else.
Hey,
Pressure.
but it's part of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it
you
is.
you put pressure on motherfuckers, and that's what you're supposed to do. It's like when you tell a guy, "Hey man, don't use your strength," and I'm like, "All right, well, don't use your speed and don't use your flexibility, and hey, you know what? Don't even use the skill that you got because you've trained longer than me. No, everybody, you use what you got, man. You make jujitsu your own. That's why it's a martial art and not a science, because art requires you to come at things from different perspectives.
I agree with that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they always try to shame like, oh, you roll hard, or you roll this. Like, why is that bad? Like, why
So
is rolling
here's-
hard? I mean, unless you're doing it in a like a malicious way, that's
Right.
bad. But if
Yeah.
that's just part of your game, that's part of who you are. Like,
It is what it is.
So I had a conversation with Austin yesterday, a good 20-minute conversation about my strength and being used because all my friends at
And for
my
people that
level.
don't know, Austin, so he's a high level black belt.
High level black belt, really good,
Yeah.
bendy, super,
Yeah,
like
really, really
the most
talented.
flexible person. Like, and the way he rolls too is just like legs minus head kind of.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
You roll to Austin, you're like next thing you see a foot right here. Like,
Yeah, you don't even know. Huh?
Was he at your house party?
Yeah, he was there. He was sitting in the chair, just really high.
Okay.
So basically,
Shut
I
up.
was just talking to him. I was like, yeah, so obviously I have this, and the people I'm rolling with, I use the strength, and they get frustrated, or I kind of have to tone it down. And he's like, okay, maybe you have to match other people's rolling. He's like, someone like me or other people, go as hard as you can, use
Yeah.
your strength. He's like, but for other people, maybe what they're seeing or what you can work on is you have your technique, but when it's starting to fail, you're falling back on your strength only. He's like, so instead of doing that, use that strength with those techniques instead of just falling out like him. He says even sometimes what he'll do is he'll stop using the technique and use his bendiness, using his just
His
that to
ability
get
to
out.
be
Yeah, which is part of his game. But he's
Yeah.
like, to be honest, everybody's gonna do it. But if you can not fall back on your like our
Your
strengths
safety
or
nets.
our safety nets
Yeah.
or bendiness or strengths, and start incorporating into your game, that's when you kind of take off to the next level. And so
Yeah,
I'm
that is
trying to
true.
do that. It's tough.
It makes
is.
perfect
It is.
sense, yeah.
It makes a lot of sense, and the part that maybe he didn't include is that you're going to take some L's in the interview.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to take some L's, but you just have to. But he's right. You're going to get better.
Yeah.
You will eventually get better, but you gotta have to humble yourself and like, dang man, I didn't use this and I got caught.
Yep.
That's
Like,
what he said.
you re-examine it, reverse engineer it. Oh,
Yeah,
that's all I got
it's
caught.
tough because you don't want to lose to your friend. Like
Right.
we have a
Happens.
group of core people. We're so competitive with each other because we're almost all at that same level. And
Yeah.
we're like, you didn't pass my guard,
Yeah.
bitch. Like, yeah, you couldn't get me, even if it's as simple as that. So it's like we're going sometimes
Yeah.
balls to the walls, and they're like,
Hell
"Oh,
yeah.
you're being too strong." I was like, just get better."
Exactly.
But
Just
it's
get
like,
better.
Just get
But
better.
man, I'm
Okay.
down
Yeah.
with I'm down with that level of competition. I like that. Here's where it goes bad. When somebody's trying to get a submission so bad that they don't care about your safety.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I'll
Yep.
rip your freaking knee out as long as I got my submission. Like, that's
Well,
where it gets
That's
ugly.
that king of practice bullshit.
King of practice,
Right.
yeah.
And so, you know, again, I always stress it. I'm like, check your ego at the door. And yeah, we all have to have a good, healthy ego, and we want to do better, and then your ego pushes you to do better. But when you get to the point where, like you said, I can't get tapped, I refuse to get tapped, therefore I'm going to switch to my safety net. I'm just going to pick this son of a bitch up off the ground and just shake him off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, yeah, you can do that. That's legit. And if this particular match matters, then do that.
Yeah.
But if you're like, you know what, I'm going to dial it down and I'm just going to roll and I'm really going to work on my technique, well, then sometimes you can't just smash a motherfucker.
That helps against the lower belts for sure.
It really
That's
does.
the blues, the whites, and even newer purples and stuff. Doing that so much better than doing it with your friends or people higher above you.
For sure. I mean, your
It's more
friends,
competitive.
you fight your friends.
Yeah, exactly. You roll with people, you fight your friends.
There you go.
But you don't injure your friends.
But you
No,
don't
no,
injure
no.
them. No, no.
Well, we all know each other enough to where we're gonna be safe.
It's like, you know, if you snap something on somebody quick, you're going to stop. Even if he could have defended it, you're not going to make him defend it
Exactly.
at his
Like,
own detriment.
exactly.
You're going to stop. You're going to be like, all right, hey, you know what? I'm pretty sure I had that heel hook. And he'll be like, fuck, no, you didn't.
Totally.
And then
Yeah.
you just gotta, you're right. And then you just have to go have a drink afterwards and talk shit to each other. But you don't actually go out there and hurt anybody. You know what I mean? And so a really great example is Stefan on this one, because like what he came in, you were blue belt when you showed up, right? And I'm rolling with him and I'm like, okay. I'm like, God damn, this is annoying. I'm like, okay. Nah, fuck it. I'm gonna use what I got. Boom, boom, boom. I'm starting to kick in strength. I'm starting to kick in all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, holy shit, this is really, really a difficult role. And
It was hard. Sorry.
yeah, no, dude. I'm glad it was. I'm glad I was putting up some fucking resistance for you. But Stefan is really good at dialing shit
Yes.
back.
Yes.
He is really good at dialing shit back, because could you knock over a bear and probably put in a rear naked choke? Most likely. But you know what I'm saying?
Not if
But-
they know jujitsu.
yeah. Even if they know jujitsu, I'd still maybe put my money on Stefan.
Oh
But-
yeah.
But so tell me, what in your head, how do you hit the fucking brake pedal so well?
That's actually a really great question, because
That's why we're the host.
I have two modes when it comes to my martial arts. It's I'm about to die and I have to kill you, or this is for my own journey and I have to use you as a blank canvas.
Yeah.
And that blank canvas is either a portrayal of a small child where I have to figure out how to roll with something so
Yeah.
delicate.
Don't look at me like
Right.
that.
Or
Small child and looked over. Man.
So delicate.
or it's just like an insurmountable mountain where I just have to cross it and I just have to take my time. It helps me dial back my pride as well. I'm a prideful person, and I keep it so dialed back where it just doesn't surface.
Okay.
But
You know what? I think that's what he just said really made a lot of sense. You're not dialing back necessarily your physicality. You're dialing it back up here mentally.
Oh yeah.
You're dialing back your ego is what it is.
Yeah.
because
And some people can never master that. And it's unfortunate for them because people won't roll with them. That's the thing. You would smash everybody, but then it's like, yeah, you have nobody to roll with. You know?
And that would be the other thing, right?
That's the
You
consequence of that.
because he mentioned earlier, he was like, yeah, he's like, I'll roll with somebody, and then I immediately recognize if that person's never going to roll
Yeah.
with me again.
I mean, it's fine. I'm not hurt by it. It's just, well, maybe once you're up to that level where you can feel comfortable with me, that's fine. But I have Rich, who's in his 70s. I roll with him all the time.
Blue
And
belt rich, old man,
Hell yeah.
doesn't care.
I'll put pressure on him too, and take it for what it's worth.
He knows you're not going to hurt him. He knows that it's like,
It's not gonna be
okay,
injured, yeah.
right. It's like, could he fucking snap me up? Yeah.
I feel like if they don't know you, then they're not going to want to roll. If they
They're just
know you
scared.
and they roll with you enough,
Yeah.
they'll know. Like, I love rolling with Stefan. I know
Yeah.
it's not going to be beneficial maybe to him, but it's so much fun. And even though he always somehow ends up side control and what's the roll called?
A barrel. I just call it a barrel roll.
He barrel rolls
barrel-
over my entire body like a steamroller,
Oh, I know the
and
rule.
I feel like
Yeah.
my organs are
I love
getting
it.
smashed.
Yeah.
Last time I was rolling with him, he did that, and my nose started bleeding.
I had a
Nice.
bulldog,
Yeah.
broken, and I just started to barrel roll because he wouldn't tap. I was like, dude,
You're gonna tap.
I'm gassed, and I don't know what else to do.
That's my thing. I feel bad. It's like, dude, I gotta make him work a little bit.
Yeah,
So I try to crank it up.
yeah.
And he's sitting there just laughing. I'm like,
We laugh every time we roll.
Yeah,
like-
it's just fun to me. It's like, well,
You don't throw.
Hell yeah.
Trying to roll like a small person because
Yeah.
that's really the only advantageous thing I can do right now. So granted, that doesn't work with every big guy. But
Right.
It's still fun to do on other small people.
yeah.
For sure. I mean, dude, listen. I try to dial it down. I try to fight everybody pretty much at the same pace, right? Doesn't matter if they're way better than me or same as me or even lower. Like my pacing is always at that 60-70%.
Yeah.
Now, how much I'll do will depend upon, the level that I'm going against. Like if it's a white belt, I mean, I'm not going to give them 70% of everything
Yeah.
I know.
Exactly.
But if it's a black belt, if it's a purple belt,
Yeah.
I'm going to give them 70% of everything I know because purple
yeah.
belts are fucking
Purple's
dangerous.
dangerous, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fucking dangerous,
Yeah.
dude. You leave that shit hanging out there, they're taking it home with them.
Especially a modern purple belt.
They're monsters, dude. Freaking monsters. But yeah, I try not to smash on people either. Like, I know you're right. I can roll against old, fragile, like Mr. Glass. His bones turn to dust if you put too much pressure on him.
Yeah.
I can do it and not hurt anybody. And what you also said about rolling with like everybody's a little kid. That's something Hassett used to always tell us, right? He's like, yo, roll like you're fighting a little 10-year-old girl. And you're like, okay. Like, all right, I get it. It's like that's the kind of pressure I should be putting on.
Right.
I don't always listen to that. Sometimes I'll grab you by your face and I mush it into the ground. But
So, so how would you approach it if, let's just say, you didn't know Harold, and you went to school and hey, he's a black belt, and he's like, let's roll. Would you immediately be more? Because he's a pretty big guy too, right? So, would you be more, assertive, aggressive, or how would you approach the roll?
Well, strictly speaking, from me as a big guy, I always size them up with either a handshake or the first grips.
This guy.
Oh, you can tell.
So
You tell.
you can tell, like, are you strong or are you athletic or are you doing this just to have fun? And by that, I can then instantly.
right.
It's like Stevie Wonder with the girls. You know,
Mhm.
touching arms.
it's like, is the wrist Ray? You
yeah,
check the
exactly.
wrist?
Yeah.
It really just depends on the vibe they give me because
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything they don't want to do.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. So
Makes sense.
When I rolled with Harold the first time, I was like, okay, this is gonna suck, but it's gonna be fun because he's doing this.
Yeah.
He's got to square me up and see where I am. So I'll match that. Granted, the whole match sucked. He dog barred me, he tried to wrist lock me, take
Good.
the arm
Of course, he's trying
home.
to recycle. That's what he does.
But then I was like, oh well, I haven't had this in a while, and that
Yeah,
was
nice.
a learning opportunity
Fight
for
juice
me.
is fun.
It's
Hell
just-
yeah.
What about? Did you ever roll with Big Chris?
Hey, Chris.
Nah, he
You
wasn't.
were-
He
oh,
was.
he wasn't? Yo,
My
that'd be a good
God.
roll.
That'd be an
Big
Big
awesome
Chris,
roll.
get down here.
Yeah,
Roll this
right.
tomorrow.
That'd be an awesome roll.
That would be a great roll.
What
Yeah,
about
if-
Brandon,
if-
black belt Brandon.
yeah,
too?
that would be
Oh
great
yeah,
too.
Black Belt Brandon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ma-
He just
That
has
would
to
be-
come up from Florida.
You're right.
yeah. I
Or,
thought he
or
was
we
in
all need to
boys
go down to
there.
Florida. Or
Yeah.
next time you go back to Alabama, just shoot over and see him. We'll introduce
Okay.
you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
cool
Those
guy.
are some.
God, he's a cool guy.
There's nothing you can
Love
do.
that guy. Give him.
Oh, he's a great dude.
That's my homie. He broke my neck.
Oh, nice.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah,
He
you told that story. That's right. I remember that. He just pulled down and he went, yeah, popped
Yeah,
up.
he's the one that broke my neck. I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
Fun guy.
He'd be choking
What's
out.
a
He'd be
neck
like,
between friends?
he'd be choking out. Be like, let it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it out.
Go to sleep.
All right, I have a question for Stefan about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
When you roll with someone, okay, let's go under 200 pounds,
Okay.
my size or smaller, what do you gain out of that when someone comes up? Are you like, you have to gain something, or is it you're just doing it for their role? Like, what do you gain out of it?
It depends on if I know this person and how long I've been rolling with them. Because if I'm going up against a blue belt, a newly belted blue belt, I'll still let them work, but I'll let them understand that, hey, this is the real world. This is how this works. On top of that, let's just say I'm rolling with somebody of your experience. It's more so I have to gain, how do I control a wet noodle? Because to be granted, nobody's going to let me hold them. So my objective is to get a sound position most of the time. And if I can pull off a cool De La Hivo or some type of escape, then it's a win for me. If I get tapped, I don't really care because I was working for bottom half the match anyway.
What about a higher level guy that's smaller?
Higher level guys that are smaller typically look at me with wavering eyes. But when we do roll together, it's mostly
I'm surprised.
Did you ever roll with Sanchez?
Sanchez. I've rolled with
How did that
Sanchez.
like that? He's a high level black belt. He's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, he rolls tough. He rolls.
This
He
is,
brings
a,
it.
this is a different Sanchez. We also have a Sanchez.
got one over in-
He's a
Oh, you
fighter,
got another one?
black belt fighter, really good. Like
Really?
And
Danny
so,
Sanchez?
No, not Danny.
I think he's Sanchez.
no, his last name is Sanchez. The Mexican guy is a fighter, and he's black
I would have
belt.
set that up.
So
I would have been Don King in that right now.
No, he's actually good.
the time that I rolled with him, I was gassed, but that shouldn't really matter.
Right.
He has really good top pressure, like insanely good top pressure. It took me. That was a 6-minute match. It took me 4 minutes to get out from under.
Wow,
Dang.
he's like
Yeah.
165, 170.
Yeah.
Really?
He's not a heavy big guy. I mean, maybe I don't know when you rolled
He's
against
probably
him.
laying everything into it.
Yeah,
He's gotta lay everything
He's a
into
fighter too, so he has that dog in him.
Oh, yeah.
But once I got from underneath him, I held the position for a good bit. But
Nice.
as soon as I started advancing it, that's when I lost it. Because I've been focusing so much on my positions, I don't have the technique yet to finish all my submissions.
Got it.
So I have to lean off of that and start getting more aggressive. But that's another topic.
Digress.
But
So-
I would, okay, so
okay, go
like,
ahead.
going back to your question, Halen, it would be like, how do you roll against? What if you had a guy who was like 130 pounds and he was like a blue belt? How would you roll against him? That's kind of
That's-
what it's like for him to roll with you, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just a wet noodle.
Yeah.
How would you roll with him?
But that's the difference, though. You can kind of equate it to that, but when the size difference or the I guess like body difference, because Stefan's game is going to be so much different than
Yeah.
me going against a 130-pound person.
He's going to chase
he's
after
gonna
him speed
expect
wise.
his game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Right.
we're both like probably can do the same-ish type moves
That's a
compared to
good point.
Stefan going against me. There's moves I can't do that at his. He
Yeah.
can't do stuff like a mounted triangle, like
I can barely do
Yeah.
a regular triangle. So it's like, but if I'm going against a small guy, he's
You're right.
probably gonna be able to do the same. So it's a
It's more
kind of a difference.
predictable.
Yeah. Versus Stefan, I'm like, shit.
What's
Right.
gonna happen?
Let's see what the fuck happens. I know he's gonna
Yeah.
throw me. He's gonna grab him. Something happens when he grabs me. It's not gonna be good. So
Keep
it's
him
just-
away.
Yes.
So I definitely I got another question for you. I'm going
Sure.
to come back to you though, because let's flip that for a second, right? So with Halen, so you do get dumped in there with some of the big guys every
Yes.
now and again. Like you've fought me plenty of times. You fought Stefan. So how do you approach it when you know you're like, fuck, this guy's got me by 100 fucking pounds? What do I do?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys all know me. I like the bottom game. Like,
Right.
I like shooting triangles, getting that, getting the. I mean, I tried to heel hook Stefan because I didn't know what else to do. Like I just like, but more than not, I don't want to get on the bottom anymore. Like you guys, anybody that's 200 plus. I'm like, I don't want to be on the bottom. I don't want to get barrel rolled over. And
Why start
like,
there?
yeah, like, or if Harold gets like a 3/4 smash, I'm stuck there.
Yeah.
No matter how much strength I have, if I keep holding Harold or Stefan or someone 200 something pounds,
Wear
I'm
out.
gonna get tired and then
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be on my
Yeah.
back, smashed. Like it's gonna suck. So
For sure.
for those people, I stand up. If they stand up with me, I pray to God that they sit down or please don't take me down. Like that is my.
Please don't be a fucking wrestler. Please.
Seriously, so I'm doing and I usually don't like do the how we're talking about the outside passing.
Uh-huh.
So I don't usually do that. I'm more of a slowly method. It's great working with him because I get to figure out. All right, cool. Now I have to do these outside passes to
Yeah.
where I get a better position. So it's very beneficial to me rolling with him and other people. So I take it more of a safe approach.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, and I will agree with that. I think a lot of times it is more beneficial to the smaller person. I mean, it's just because the bigger person, they're trying to be cognizant of it. They're like, fuck, I don't want to be the guy who's just smashing on a motherfucker who's half my size. Because then everybody's like, oh, you're a fucking asshole, and all you do is you just crush us. Like, think about it. What do? I birdcage when I fight people, right?
Yeah.
Like, I make it a point. If I take you down, I got fucking side mount, I'm holding you there, but I'm barely even touching you, right? I get the knees in there, get the arms, and I'm hovering above you. I'm floating above you like a fucking bird cage. Like if you think about Tweety Bird, where, they can move all around and shit in the cage, but they're still fucking trapped.
Okay, actually, let me walk back
Yeah,
a
yeah.
second ago because Stefan kind of did the same thing where he said it's going to be a difference of rolling with a newer person. So if I'm rolling with a newer guy who's big, I might be able to work on the bottom. I might be able to just move in close. But then Stefan, or anybody above me, I'm going to be going hard because
Yeah.
I need to figure out how to not get sat on top of these other
Right,
guys.
because they can move.
Yeah, I can shrimp out of a newer guy's heavy pressure. I know how to get out. I can pop out the back door, whatever. You guys know what you're doing, and once I'm pinned, I'm pinned. So I'm
Gotcha.
like, all right, balls to the walls to stay on top.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be different.
So, and now with Rod too, because again, you're like you're not a small guy by any fucking means, but you're not a big, huge
Not-
dude.
yeah.
Like you're
Normal
you're
guy.
where everybody would fucking be lucky
Normal
to be.
guy.
Yeah, normal.
much are you, Rod?
Oh, we're a fucking
Average.
we're fucking
Yeah,
abnormals.
no.
Is that what you're saying?
How much is
What do you got? I'm like 182 right around.
Right,
there.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
dude. That's
185,
like that's
something
optimal fucking
Yeah.
range. Like that's the perfect fucking size for a motherfucker,
You're
right?
pretty quick too.
So when you're fighting bigger guys, what's your strategy?
Stay on top.
Stay on top of it. Immediately heal. Especially if they're a white belt. Fuck that shit up.
Wear the gi, with the white belt, wear the
Yeah,
gi.
we're in a-
With the gi. If you're a white belt and you're in a gi, you're over 200 pounds.
Heel
I'm
load.
fucking heel.
Watch out.
No rule.
Nah, but for real though, like
No, man. No, I try to stay on top, man. I mean, my game, it's pretty much the same, to be honest. I try to stay on top. I'll make them earn the bottom position, but I end up I'm not gonna fight from being on my back that hard. It's
Yeah.
cool because that's a lot of where my game comes in, especially being a leg lock guy.
Right.
I like being underneath,
To you.
but sometimes with the bigger guys, it's hard to get underneath them. You know that is a challenge.
No
So
point.
I would say I try to. It's tough, man. Big guys, it
Yeah.
sucks, dude. Because it just like even armbarring
Fuck
is
y'all.
hard, man. Like, bro, try to armbar
Yeah.
Stephon. You ain't gonna armbar. Somebody I was telling the other day, they were telling me they had you in an armbar, and you literally just picked him up.
Oh,
and
dude,
just,
yeah, on Friday.
Who
that
was
one.
it? Somebody was saying, I don't know. They said they had you in a full-on
It was
armbar,
the
and this is a
brown
good
belt.
guy.
It was the
too.
brown belt guy
Yeah.
with the big
Yeah.
ears. And
Shout out
he-
to him, yeah.
yeah.
That's
Good,
what's
yo,
up.
this guy's legit too, and he's like, "Yo, dude, like that's never happened
He
before."
just
Like I
shook
could
him
not
right off.
armbar him because
Yeah.
he just literally stood up,
I want
punched
to
it
say
on,
it
and
was
came
John.
out.
I want to say the name is John.
No, it's big brown belt guy.
was it the guy? Oh, Mike. Yeah, Mike.
Mike's
Yeah.
legit,
He's
dude.
fucking
Mike.
legit, dude.
Hell
Yeah,
He's
it's
fucking
not-
dangerous,
He's a
dude.
freaking
Yeah.
high level brown belt. Like
He's dangerous.
so. Like that's my point is that it's very hard to just like physically like armbar a really
Yeah.
guy who's got like 50, 60, 70 pounds on you.
Right? So, and here's, okay, now.
You got
wait,
that's
wait,
right,
yeah,
you're
go ahead,
limited-
Stephon, go
You're
ahead.
limited to submissions. You could, honestly, think of Trevor. Like, you're going to armbar Trevor, bro. I don't care. You're not going
Right.
to, you Kimura Trevor. You're not going to do anything. You're going to, maybe you get his back if you're lucky.
I've had his
I-
back.
And that's what I'm saying, though. But I mean, if you were a super high level guy,
Yeah.
let's just say, who's the guy that cannot be named? MM?
Yeah.
He would have to get his back or heel hook him.
Yes.
He's not going to
That's-
armbar, and I'm talking to a guy at that level,
Yeah.
he's not going to armbar Trevor. He would get his back, maybe
Maybe.
finish the choke, maybe. But he probably heel hook.
All right, so
But he
what are you
will.
about to say, Stephon?
So you're limited to submissions. So where do you get those submissions from? A heel hook, you get it from the bottom more than likely, right? And the back take, you can get that from anywhere. So
If you get there.
you're going to put yourself in those positions to get those. So
Yeah.
Well, to be very honest, a lot of triangles, like mounted triangles, are available to smaller people if they worked on pressuring the arms more.
Mm-hmm.
Because bigger guys, we have to use our arms.
We're upper body fighters.
Like that's literally all we have to do. Unless we focus on our leg lock game, we're only going to use our arms to control you because that's really all we have outside of our pressure. It's where a lot of our gravity comes from. I could spend 8 minutes just to put you in side control, only to lay on you for you to tap.
Yeah.
But you have to do 8 minutes to get a rear naked choke in.
that's
Fail.
true.
That's
Right, so you're running around a lot
Yeah.
more.
I'm tired
That's
now.
true.
so that's the two different landscapes we have to navigate sometimes. And with Trevor,
That's an interesting one.
That's not even.
when you were going
big guy,
strength
that's
for
a monster.
strength, the one time I rolled with him, I said, okay, well, next time I roll with him, I will have to match him because I was not matching him at all.
Yeah.
He took my arm home
Oh.
and then
Oh yeah, so he's the guy that.
But you
can
know
arm.
what? Right. And I think part of that was you approached that role like you approach other people's roles where you're like, well, I don't want to actually give it my all.
Right.
I don't want to actually do everything I have. But in that particular circumstance, everything you have might just be enough.
yes.
You know what I mean? So you can't half-ass this shit. It's like you got a whole ass this shit. You got a whole ass the shit out of that.
And I started to match his pressure the last minute, and that's when things kind of ended because we ended on a high note because it just finished. We were like,
Right.
well, that was pleasant. So
Hell yeah.
it's definitely a different mentality rolling with smaller guy and a bigger guy. It's just my issues are derived from me not wanting to hurt people because I like all my training partners.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is, and again, right? And this is where you get so many guys in jiu-jitsu. Everybody, like, pick a fucking school. They're like, oh, this guy, that guy, whoever, he's like a gentle giant. It's like that. We always get that fucking gentle giant bullshit, right? And we're like, okay, yeah, dude, you're right. We dial it down and we seem like we're nice and we're playful and all this stuff. But then there are those times, right? Every now and again, you got to just smash a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well,
And then you're like, holy shit. They go, fuck, this guy sucks. He's crushing the shit out of me. He's just, he grabbed me. He pushed my face into the fucking mat. And then he just had his way with me. I felt like it was a fucking episode of Oz.
That's it.
Pause. No, fuck pause.
Yeah.
I think that'd be.
I know what it
Play with
sound.
you.
I know what it sounded like.
Like I'll even make a comment on like high level female black belts or just level belts rather.
Yeah.
Like I've rolled with high level brown and black belts, and they 100% try to take my neck home.
Hell yeah.
More often than not. But then when it comes down to the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, they're coming at this at a different angle than I am. And the one time I kicked it up a notch, I realized, like, oh, I can actually hurt that person. So
Okay.
I had
Facts.
to check myself in that
Facts.
situation because I don't think she ever would have realized what could have happened.
And that's
Exactly.
a weird fucking way to
Ignorance
feel,
is
man.
bliss.
Yeah.
It is, and it's like, and that's some scary, weird shit because you're like, yo, I know if I turn it way up, this is going to go bad for you. But then it's like, but I do respect your belt. I respect your rank. I respect what you are capable of doing. It's like, God damn. It's like, but reality can be a little bit different, though, right? Reality can be a little bit different than what you think it is, and that's rough. That is rough because you want to be respectful and you don't want to hurt anybody. Damn.
It's very frustrating.
Well, yeah, that's, I mean, the whole point, but everything is you've been saying from what, I mean, you want to be nice and not hurt your training partner.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line of when you're rolling with people higher or lower. You're being nice, trying not to hurt them, even though you're giving them the role they deserve. But now you're in the absolute division in a tournament where you're not supposed to be nice, where you're supposed to win that match by any means necessary. Then how do you approach a role? Because it's like
Everybody
Oh,
does.
dude, that's
everybody
He
dies.
dies.
But I
Was it-
haven't,
Everybody
I've never
If
seen
he
you
dies,
roll.
he
Like,
dies.
that's
So like, how,
it was just a switch. I don't know what it is.
you just turn it on. Like, is your game changed? Like, what's it like that? Like,
So the times that I've done absolute, it was through white through blue. I haven't done it at purple yet. But every time I went, it usually always ended up in a side control Kimura or Americana. Just I'm boring. I'm sorry.
big and small.
Big and small.
Damn.
Don't matter. You try to heel hook me, I'll take your arm and rip it out. Like it's, if you try to triangle me, I'll let you have the triangle and then pressure pass you until you can't hold the triangle anymore. It's literally just me steamrolling you until you give up. Now, if you trap me in a submission, I will respect it by every means. But my mentality on a mat in absolute is you have my wife hostage. I gotta get to you
He going
to get to my wife. I need to take this money home to
Damn.
go do whatever extreme scenario. in my
Like
head.
fucking taking 4 up in this bitch. That's what-
Yeah,
I have a particular set of skills.
exactly. And that's the only way I survived with those black belts, at least, because I was like, okay, I can't actually beat this dude, but let me make him work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
That's
Rod, what'd you say the options are bag and legs for
I think
bigger
so for the
people?
bigger guys.
in the
Yeah.
tournaments, or that's what they're doing for you straight off the bat?
so straight off the bat, they'll try to wrestle me, and then they realize they can't, and then they'll pull their guard and realize that's also a mistake.
yeah,
And after they kind of deduce the situation down to a leg lock, they'll try to do it, but I know and just enough not to let it happen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm really great at defending leg locks, because I'm not.
Okay.
It's just, I know when I'm in danger, and I know when not to let it happen. I
There you
think
go.
That's what saves me most of the time.
You get ahead of it.
Yes.
Like, just think of how much work they'd have to put in just to, like, pass your guard. They finally got to hold you in position. They got to get another position to get your arm, bro. But that's so much energy right there,
Yes.
right? And then
Hell
they're
yeah.
gonna try to use that to get an armbar or a Kimura, and then it's like it's not successful.
And then, God forbid, it fails.
It
Right?
fails.
If it
Now they're all
fails,
bad.
now they're like, "Holy shit!
I'm tired.
I didn't freaking did everything I have.
I did everything right.
Yeah, and then here's the other part. He didn't fucking bring this point up though. He's a fucking CrossFitter, so
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
he's
his
big,
cardio
he's
is
fucking
fucking-
strong
yeah.
as shit, but his cardio is monstrous. So then he's like, "Oh, you're tired? I'm just getting started. Let's keep doing this shit."
I might be breathing heavy, but don't let that fool you.
Hell damn yeah.
I
You
got
gotta get your back. That's the only way, or he'll look. That's still. I
Right?
stand
But
by
I mean,
that.
that's like, is that what they're trying to do to you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll try to get my back. My back defense is pretty solid. It's not A game for sure, but it's pretty solid. Now, they realize that once they can't get past my little pyramid neck, then they'll.
When's the last time you've been on board?
The last time I've been armbarred was actually Thursday because I was.
Oh.
Who got you?
Plenty of not Thursday. I'm sorry, Wednesday. It was no gi.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot of the higher belts though.
We had a lot of high
I,
belts.
legit.
I was using my arms way too much, and my arms were extended.
Oh, he's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
straight arm is
Yeah.
a straight
That guy's
arm
full
is
of
a
crap.
gift
They
from
didn't teach
God.
you I armbarred him last Wednesday.
Yeah.
I reflected the whole day, and I said, "Oh no, I
Oh,
was
no.
giving him free submission."
That's it.
And so that's where you have to be careful with that. Because probably prior to that, it was probably the Trevor incident.
Yeah,
And that was like years ago.
yeah.
So you had 2 arm bars in the last how many years, right?
Exactly.
So you get lazy.
But we tell people, I say, hey, a straight arm is a gift from God. If you
Yeah.
want to get yourself arm barred, go ahead and stick your arm out straight.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Or if you want to get wrist locked.
I love when new people just go like this. When
Oh,
you're out.
man, it's
I'm just
so
like,
cool.
yes, I'm taking
It's
your
so
arms. Keep
cool.
pushing off of me.
It's like, thank you for letting me be the person to teach you this.
Yes, I get to teach you a lesson today, and you'll never forget this.
The only one maybe better is you're there, you're rolling, and you go, they just crossed their feet while they had my back.
All right, guys, fine. Yes, that happened to me in the tournament. I get it. It's a joke around. Everybody gets it. And there's a joke going around. David,
I didn't realize.
yeah, I went. God damn you! Yeah, I went to LA and I went against this guy. It was fun, but it also was like an exhibition match. And like we were both blue belts. He had my back, and I had his back. Crossed my ankles, and he leg locked me. I popped his ankle, but he kept going. It was fine. And then I ended up getting his back, and he did that. I didn't know what that was still. Like, yeah, and he got me. I tapped. This shit hurt.
Oh, that does-
Yeah, so now, obviously, Harold, David, Henson,
sucks.
Rex, Anthony,
Oh,
they're all like, when you get your black belt, you know what we're saying during the speech. I'm like, bro, come on. And they're like, yeah, you're never going
What
to
is
live
this
that
You
down.
know why?
sorcery?
Yeah.
The speech is normally don't cross your legs because you will get ankle locked.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
If you actually get ankle locked, it actually happened.
Yeah, it happened.
Bad
It
business.
hurt,
That
bro.
does suck.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
that
it.
shit hurts.
know. it
Yeah,
sucks,
I
man.
was like, but I learned. Someone told me this. If you are crossing and they do that, if you just push their chest,
Push 'em away.
push them away as close as you can as your feet.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Not gonna try and find out, but it's interesting.
Nah, you got to try to find out, man. What are you talking about?
But you know, the flip
Do it
side,
in your next competition.
how many guys try to do that? How many guys try to leg lock the guy with their feet crossed and they get choked out in the process, right?
Yeah.
I got choked out so many times trying to catch
Yeah.
when I was like a blue belt. I was like, oh, here's a leg lock, and it.
Yeah, choke you out.
So yeah, it works both ways.
I guess. I don't know. I'd like to see the stats on that one.
I'm just saying when you're first learning it.
I'm
Years
part of it.
ago.
I'm part of the stat.
But yeah, if they give you that, yeah,
Yeah, it sucks.
No, fucking, that's all
That's a little
bad.
gift.
That's all
Yeah.
bad. Shit. Let me see. What else are we fucking talking about here? Because tournaments and stuff. When's your next tournament there, Mr. Allen?
I mean, man, I hate competing. That is the problem. I've done it twice, and it was fun winning.
Did well,
but like,
too. You did
yeah,
well.
I did.
Fuck
I
yeah.
did
Except for the ankle
fine.
lock thing.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't get the submission, but I played it fine. The first match, I was able to get dominant position. Second match, I think Scott, Black Belt Scott, was
Yeah.
judging my match, and he just felt sorry for me and gave me the extra point. But it was like the guy was really just trying to pass my guard the entire time. And I mean, I did maybe an advantage. Like he tried to, I stood up while holding, and that counts.
He's like, good enough for government
Yeah,
work.
literally, he's like, all right, this match sucked. Like, but
Yeah.
now being the commentator at these events and watching some of these matches, I was like,
You're
I
seeing
couldn't
them.
judge this, dude. I was like,
It's
dude,
hard.
Dude,
I hate
it's
being
hard.
judged,
Like,
man.
there's a specific rule set,
yeah.
dude. That is hard.
I hated judging tournaments. It's
Yeah.
fucking sucked. It's just a pain in the ass. Because if there's ever a fucking close call, they look
Dude.
at you like you're some fucking
Everything.
asshole.
Oh, we had two people at least once or twice. Some coach will come up. Hey, let me see the score sheet, blah blah. And what we tell them is like, if you keep pushing, you guys can't come back next.
Hell yeah,
next
your
time.
whole fucking team's
Yeah,
disqualified.
you guys can't do it again.
Get
So
outta
it's like
here.
it is what it is, And if they do make a mistake, they'll rectify. But most of the time, they're fine. Like we made Scott.
They're just mad
it's
in the
just-
moment. That's
Yeah,
all
they're
it is.
upset.
They're
like,
mad in the moment.
They did this and that.
Yeah, I get
It's
it.
just a match.
I get it.
But I will probably compete next year. To be
Oh,
honest,
shit.
I'll be in my. Then I'll have my groove as a purple belt.
Hell
You
yeah.
know,
There you
like
go.
because I'm still. I just hit 1 year this month as a purple belt. So I was like, yeah, this
Okay.
month. So it's just like, let's keep it going.
Alright, there
Like
you
maybe
go.
2 years in because it's a
So
long belt.
Purple belt,
which
purgatory.
which
Purple.
fucking age group are you in now? You're getting
I'm
old.
Masters 1. I'm 30, which would be
shit.
good because I'm the youngest of the division, so I should
That
just
is
do it now.
perfect.
Yeah, you know,
What do you
literally.
weigh? How much you weigh?
Let's see, I just weigh myself. Well, probably 168 on average.
Dude,
Going
bulk
at that,
bulk
like
up
that-
now.
like that-
I'm
Fuck.
trying,
Bulk
dude.
up to like
You're gonna
230.
hate
What for what?
For your weight class.
Just
you're
be
gonna-
the
Really?
heaviest at your weight class.
Why?
Because you have a lot of people that you
Cut down.
probably have the most matches.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's stupid.
It's the 160s and the 140s.
Yeah. Okay,
Dude,
I
don't
can see
cut
that.
What's the next?
I
what's
would
next?
never cut.
Hell no.
I would
Wait up
never
from
cut.
him.
Hell.
He's
What do
gonna
you have to go
compete
to?
soon.
I'm probably one.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
What about
What
you?
do you have to jump up to get the next category?
170, right?
Yeah.
I think it's
about
at
170, 170.
175, right around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bulk up a little bit.
But the problem with the 170,
But then you're the
175 is the
last guy.
motherfuckers are
Yeah.
Hey,
cutting
the
back.
last guy.
They're
Yeah.
at 185 because I know,
There's no winning.
dude. That's
No winning.
exactly
So
how
we
that
are.
second match was because the first match the guy was he was under when he weighed he was because I did the match at 170 he weighed in at like 158 or something. But my guy weighed in on the second match exactly at the 170 and he was a big dude. I was like, you fucking cut for
Dude, no,
this.
they do.
Yeah. Oh no. People be cutting 10 pounds and for matches like
Hell yeah,
Julio.
man.
Oh, he had his match yesterday. He won. Shout out Julio.
Which
Triangled
Julio?
him. Julio Castro.
Oh, Blue
Yeah.
Blue
Julio.
Blue.
Julio.
Oh,
Yeah, he had his
shout
match
out.
yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah,
all
triangled the
right,
guy. He called it too.
All
He's
right.
like he put it on this chat. He's like, I'm gonna triangle you, like, and he did it. And I was so proud of him. But it's just
Hey
like.
man, Julio's in the zone right now.
Yeah, but he dropped like 12 pounds or whatever, and then like weighed in, and boom, 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 eating all the food he can. So it's just like, yeah, like you said, that's the most amount of people, but a lot of people right there are cutting down.
Yeah.
I'm not
They
gonna
are.
cut down.
I feel you.
All right, I won't.
I feel you.
I'll just compete at my weight.
Yeah, man, we got fucking real jobs. We got
Yeah,
fucking bills to
what?
pay and shit. Y'all ain't gonna be fucking me up.
And the anxiety of it coming up, you know, it's like, all right, it's a month, all right, it's 2 weeks, all right, it's next, tomorrow. I'm not eating for a day. Like, I'm just scared as shit, you
I
know?
already know I'm just
That's
ultra
scary
heavy.
fast.
All right.
Yeah, Stefan, you told me this
did.
year I'll be at the Arte Suave.
So yeah, what's happening with you?
I've just been on some on and off sabbaticals because of life reasons, honestly.
Hell yeah.
So I should have been trading more. Probably gone on my third year in my purple belt right now. It's been about that long, I would
Mhm.
say. So
Yeah.
I kind of made a promissory goal to myself that I need to compete at least once at this belt.
All right.
That's how I feel.
So
Once.
There you go.
I'm looking either at IBJJF, even though I hate the scheme of the
Yeah.
tournament,
Right.
Yeah.
or a
Dude,
submission
yeah,
only
fucking
tournament.
submission.
Submission only,
Like a
dude.
fucking single match, fucking
Yep.
super fight
7
type
minute,
shit.
just fucking-
Dude, that'd be gangster.
What do you like, gi or no gi?
I don't care. It really doesn't
You can
matter.
put on there too, both. And
Yeah,
then-
I was about to say, tell them motherfuckers
can
you
put
do
both.
both.
Yeah.
We
You
have
want to fight
people-
the same guy twice.
Yeah.
You want to fight him gi, then you want to fight him no gi.
And I'll do
Yeah.
the same thing.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I know. Smash. If he dies, he dies.
We will probably do it again. Like we did an open weight BMF purple bad motherfucker purple belt,
Hell yeah,
and
man.
they got a belt and everything. And it's
Nice.
it's whatever open weight. So I was like, next time we do that shit, Stefan, like hop in there, like.
I'm planning on cooling it at purple belt for a while, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you. But you know what? Listen, dude. You love the art, so that's cool. You know what I mean? Like you're here, you're doing it just to be a better person, just because that's part of your lifestyle. I think that's why all of us are really doing it at this point in time. We're just in love with this shit. So it's like, nah, that's all good. I'm trying to think what else we got going on. So we got our tournaments under our belt. Rod, you ain't doing no tournament anytime soon, right?
You
Fuck
too,
all
yeah.
that. Yeah, me either,
Why'd you
man.
never
Fuck,
be
fuck
at
all
one?
that
Not one
shit.
time.
6-year-old, dude.
Well, you started at what, like 49?
I was like 40. I was already
Yeah,
old,
man,
dude.
fuck all that shit, right?
That's Master 7, dude. You're fine.
Yeah, fucking Master
Yeah,
Seven.
some guys do,
Dude.
man. And shout out to the guys that do, man. It's
Yeah,
all-
you're bad
it's just not-
motherfuckers.
It's nothing that's important to me. It's just
Nah,
not.
I know.
I don't know.
You know what?
Not my
You know
thing.
what? I'll keep it
5
real.
years.
Rod and I, we're enjoying the fuck out of doing this podcast and just talking to y'all jokers, man. And it's going to be funny because here's what's going to happen. Because Stefan, you were super duper humble during this whole thing, but somebody's going to be like, I can beat that.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, next time I'm in Northern California, I'm fucking coming for you.
Yeah.
They be like, remember fucking Clubber Lang? He be like, hey fool, hey boy, they gonna be coming for your ass.
I mean,
Fuck
Let
let
them
them come.
let them come. he
Let
says,
them fucking
yeah.
come.
Yeah.
like
Come.
my humility is pretty much very high when I'm inside of those walls.
Yeah,
I'll
no
say
doubt,
that.
dude.
So if you want to show up and roll with me and you come at me with that attitude, I'll greet you kindly.
That's
It's the
what's
same
up.
attitude.
He's a
Goddamn.
nice guy.
You're a fucking
You're
Totally
dog,
opposite of
dude.
me.
See, I know.
Damn. I'm like,
You-
hey, bitch, what?
Hell yeah. I know, right?
I ain't gonna
Kayla's
win,
like,
but
what?
fuck you.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
Stefan.
Pour some,
how's it
pour some
going?
champagne over his fucking head.
Nah,
Fuck you.
Salt after everything.
Don't get,
Salt made that ass.
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. I was born and raised Caribbean, but
Facts.
that only comes out if you put me there.
See, there you go. Where are you from?
Bahamas.
Bahamas? Okay.
Oh, nice.
I grew up in Bama, Alabama, for those that don't know what that means. And then I moved out to California.
Hell yeah.
So,
We're glad you came out here, dude.
Seriously.
Because I'm telling you, all you guys are fucking killing shit, man. This is awesome. Like, I love the idea of watching you guys compete next time. And yeah, if anybody does decide they want to come and check us out, shoot us a message, Open Mac Chronicles. We'll respond. We'll be like, oh yeah, we'll set it up, man. We'll set it up and we'll buy some beers afterwards. No animosity for anybody. It's all love. Fucking, you guys are fucking cool, man.
I do gotta say, it was really fun Friday when we came and
was
rolled
fun.
and stuff. That was fun. And one of the guys that I roll with, the wrestler guy, the one that has the
Oh yeah. That's another Mike.
no, is that his name?
Yeah, remember it's Mike.
White belt, I think, right?
No, you talking about the big jack dude, right?
No, he's talking about
the
the white belt. Yeah,
time.
dude. No, it's Mike. It's Mike and Mike.
Oh,
okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's talking
the
about
wrestler.
yeah,
He's
Crazy
fucking
Mike. We call him
boy.
Crazy
He's,
Mike.
Oh, no, what did I say? What did I call it?
Oh, Squirrely Mike. Squirrely Mike.
yo,
That's
he's
his
a
name.
beast.
Oh, you know, he's a
I
good
he's
guy.
on
appreciate
beast
rolling
mode.
with him
Yeah,
because
he's tough.
he was just telling me, he's like, and that made me feel good. It's just a little, he's like, hey man, I really thank you and like you coming in here because you really put it on me. And he's like, I can't pass your guard, and it annoys me. He's like, I'm a wrestler, so I can get past a lot of people's guards, I mean, he's like, so it's annoying. This is fun, and I'm like, oh good man, I'm glad I
No,
can
but he's
do
actually,
that.
he's actually a pretty high level wrestler.
Yeah,
For
no, I know.
sure.
He wrestled with Uriah Faber.
Yes.
He's
So
like- he's
his
legit.
wrestling is fucking
He's
on
no joke.
point.
Yeah.
And he has flipped a switch in his
Yes.
head, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to get okay being on my back, and
Yep.
he's embracing
He-
jujitsu,
good.
He's getting better.
and he's
Good.
getting better fast, dude.
Like, he hit an armbar last Friday. It was smooth, dude. It was like an upside down belly down. I'm like, yo, dude, you did jujitsu.
Dude,
That was.
I was
that
chilling.
pretty.
I was rolling with him, freaking working some shit, and boom, he got passed and slapped on it was some shit that ended in a fucking neck crank, and he's putting it on, and I was like, no, dude, you got this. I was
Yeah.
like, there's no need to kill me. I was like, you,
Yeah.
White
you
belt,
got
no
this
stripes.
shit.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I know.
No stripe white belt.
Yeah,
but,
we need to fix that
Yeah,
shit.
that's a sandbagging.
Yeah, sandbagging motherfucker,
Yeah.
right? Anyway,
The best
Let's not
lesson,
blow his cover.
the best
yeah.
lesson I showed him for his wrestling and trying to pass guard is, how wrestlers are like, they're
Uh-huh.
and shit. I triangled the shit out of him like 3 times.
Yeah.
And by the 4th time, he's
He
like,
learned.
He learned, and
That's
I was
it.
like,
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
job, dude. I was
Yeah.
like, see, I was like, it just like takes a couple things in a
Yeah.
row, for them to learn.
he's on this shit. And the brown belt might.
Oh,
freaking-
he's
he-
solid.
so
Yeah,
here's
yeah.
the thing: they work together like all
I
the
think they're
time.
neighbors.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's what
So
he
like
said, yeah.
he's
Yeah,
got,
yeah.
I think he's got the mats at the
He's got,
crib
like,
and
private
shit,
lessons, too.
and he's getting private. We
Yeah.
talked about that in this
Yeah.
last one: private lessons from an upper belt. Man, it's
Yeah.
fucking
Austin,
worth it.
he wants me to work with him private. I was like, I would
Hell
be
damn
super
yeah.
down with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
crazy.
He's doing it in his garage.
Yeah.
Yo, you should, man. You
I
should
know.
not turn that down.
I know I'm going to
Like-
be honest. It's not
Yeah.
bad. I mean, he's really good. He has like 3 or 4 people doing privates at his house and
Nice.
stuff. And
Oh,
like,
dude.
yeah.
So damn. Now we're going into another subject. So even privates and semi-privates. So we used to do a lot of semi-private because if you have another 1 or 2 or 3 people
Oh, yeah.
who are training with this one thing, it can still be. It's not fully individualized, but you got like your little core group who jumps in and works with those higher
Same
level
body
guys.
type, like
That's
same
better.
objectives.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That seems better to me than a one-on-one
Yeah, it's
private.
pretty good.
Like when I was
You know,
doing
days,
semi privates with a couple of guys here, dude, it was awesome.
That
It was
sounds better.
freaking awesome. It was great for me because I would be able to stand back and actually kind of guide
move
you
this here.
versus being in the mix because it's hard for me to coach you and fight you at the same time.
Yeah.
But when I can step back and see, oh man. So yeah, if you can do a semi private and sometimes you can, lower the bills a little bit that way.
Yeah, they're not cheap. Privates aren't cheap.
Shit ain't cheap.
I mean, but like,
Shit ain't cheap.
if you're going from someone who's a high level, I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna be worth it. And if you really want your game to get better, like that helps. I'm not gonna
Sometimes
say
you
it
got to come out
doesn't
of
help.
pocket.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say private don't help because they do.
They do.
Yeah.
And it's funny. So I spoke about private lessons on the last pod, and I was like, just like anything else, you don't necessarily have to have the highest level guy that you take a private
Exactly.
from. You
Yeah,
take a
yeah, I
private
remember
from a
that.
guy who's a level or two above you.
Yeah.
Because by doing that, you'll still get somebody who can beat your ass.
Yeah.
And teach you some stuff, and you get it at a discount price.
Yeah. Literally, because I mean, if you're getting someone who's already your game-ish, like,
Hell
like 'cause
yeah.
I remember you guys saying a white belt. Really, just get someone who's a higher level. I mean, just go
Yeah,
to class.
get
Like,
a
you
purple
don't
belt.
need
And a
it.
white
Yeah,
belt, you
just-
don't need anything.
just go to
You don't need
fucking
anything.
class.
You're a pro belt. You get a private from just a good black belt.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say
But then
pro
you're a
belt's
black
good.
belt. You get a private from someone who's.
Then you
really
go
good.
fucking see.
Specializing in
No,
your
look.
own niche.
See, that's when
Yeah.
that's when you go out and you fucking find a guy like Michael Muchamisi.
Yep.
Yes, the name that shall not be named.
That's why I said.
My
it.
coach,
That's why-
dude, Chad does not like that guy.
But if he
I don't know
aligns
why.
with your game, though, you
Yes,
know what I mean?
yes, yes,
or
yes.
like a Ryan
For
Hall,
sure,
or someone
for
that,
sure.
that you know.
that will help you as a black belt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or a John Battle.
There
Shout
you
out to
go.
my boy John Battle because that motherfucker can fight. So I just had to throw it out there. Anywho, you got anything else good for us, man? Are we straight? Give us your words of wisdom.
Final thoughts,
Your final
reflections.
thoughts.
Damn.
reflections.
Any of you guys who are thinking or in the area, if they ever want to compete, I'm going to plug it. I'm going to shout it out. Arte Suave Elite. Go to the
There you go.
website. I'm commentating every single time. It's a super fight. It's a one-on-one match. Usually about 7 minutes long, submission only. So all that point crap that you get with IBJJF, side control, that you're not going to get. You're getting points for making them be worried that you're going to tap them or tapping them. Sign up. It's free, so you don't have to pay $100. Anybody's welcome. We used to have a stat card.
Gi or no gi, both.
But yeah, do whatever you guys want. We'll pair you up their weight class.
Singlet?
Singlet. Yeah.
Fucking singlet. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
honestly, you can do the shirtless thing. You can wear whatever.
Butt naked, covered in oil.
Yeah, it's butt naked, covered in oil. It's the first. I don't want to do any other type of match after that. Like that's just so much fun. So yeah, check it out. Compete. Message me on Instagram or
Fuck
or
yeah.
Artist Swap.
We'll make sure we get all your
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah, we'll
your,
put that
your
up.
information out
There
there.
you go.
Hell yeah.
Like, share, and follow.
Like,
you go.
share, and
All
follow.
Over Chronicles.
Go,
Appreciate that. Stefan, any words of wisdom for the peoples?
Yeah, so for you bigger guys out there, don't be afraid to smash people. If you're in the mood to smash people, that's okay. Just let them know beforehand. Outside of that, do not be afraid to go to tournaments because a tournament will be your most realistic view on how your game will compare against your average person. If you cannot manhandle a person in your match, then you can't do it outside of your
There you go.
school, essentially.
Fuck yeah.
So that's my perspective.
Gotta
love
get
it.
a squirrely white belt. That's the closest thing to
Hell
reality
yeah.
right there.
Just have them run around
Yeah,
that
squirrely
crazy
white
and shit
belt.
on
It's
you.
unpredictable.
Their legs and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
1865, what you got going?
I think we're good, dude. Like we pretty much wrapped it up. Yeah, I like what you're talking about. I think it makes a lot of sense. That's the thing too. Like if you're super big like that, man, like the consequence of smashing, it's good to at least let them know, right? Because if you don't let them know and then you smash them, the consequence is people will not roll with you. But you don't have to be big. You could be any size, and you're gonna have people that just don't want to roll with you if you're too aggressive or whatever.
They're scared.
Yeah. So.
Totally.
That's also
Yeah.
a reality you have to accept, and that's fine. Keep it pushing.
But I would say I was pleasantly surprised when I rolled with Stefan. The first time I was like, I don't want to roll with him. He's too big. But I rolled like, no, it was a great roll. Dude. I roll with him all the time now.
Yeah, I think everybody looked at me. They were like, "Harold, you gonna go do this?" I was like, "Yeah, obviously." I was like, "Of course, I'm
by
gonna fucking
default,
go
we
do
had to
this."
set you up.
Yeah, I was
That kind
like,
of suck.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go fight this big motherfucker."
But you know what? I
And
still
it
want
was
to set
awesome.
them. I think Big Chris, that would be a good one because
That would be
you'd
beautiful.
be able to like go all out.
You just fucking flip the
You just do
switch
whatever, yeah.
and do whatever the fuck you gonna
Yeah,
do.
he's good.
It'll be real ugly, and then we'll all drink beer afterward
Yeah.
because we're all gonna need it.
Big Chris.
Yeah.
It works for me.
and I'll watch one roll.
Yeah, I'll just watch.
Yeah,
I'll watch. Yeah, I'm
I'm
a
like
Throw a
Don
scorecard
King,
up.
yeah. Big Chris.
Rod the voyeur up in this motherfucker and shit.
Right,
I like
right.
to watch.
We have Rod Shorts, the matchups.
Oh hell yeah. All right. Well, you guys are fucking killing this shit. You're always fun. You're always welcome here because obviously jiu-jitsu is important to you. You guys are freaking, you're loving it. You're killing it. And when it's important to you, you'll find a way.
Find a way.
If it's not, you'll find an excuse. None of you guys are finding excuses not to be here. So That's fucking great, man. I love it. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, share,
Share this shit.
share
Dude.
the art, share the video.
All right, everybody.
I think we're out of here.
Oh, peace
We're out of here.
Peace.
Us.
Osa!